Welcome back to Keeping Your Stilettoes On, the place where we are embracing walking in grace, even when the ground beneath us feels uneven. A place where we come together because together, in full view, full voice, full confidence, is where we will strive the most. So, wherever you are listening, prepare your heart today because today's episode is for the woman who is walking in her heels but feeling the wobble. The woman who is strong, capable, beautiful, smart, and inspiring, but still finding herself wanting to complain, to shrink, or to second guess her steps. Let's talk about today what it means to find your confidence in your ability, grace in the heels, and trusting yourself when it's hard to talk. Let's talk about what it means to be your best on your stilettos. So let's be truthful. The year started. We are in February. We are still not even 2 months in. And I have heard so many of you and the needs to be heard and needing the assistance to identify if you are complaining or simply venting. And that, beautiful listeners, prompted me to write this episode because there is a metaphor for your stilettos and a difference between complaining and expressing the feeling for the moment. That topic we will discuss in another episode a little more deeper and explains the difference between complaining and expressing. So for today, let's start by understanding the metaphor of the stilettos because there is such a thing as walking in your stilettos. So here's something I want you to remember. Your stilettos are yours to wear. They are not for the faint of heart. You don't just wake up in the morning and throw on a pair unless you've decided I'm going to carry myself today. And by putting on the heels, you have chosen to walk in it with a specific demeanor, saying, today I want to be different. So let me remind you of that. In stilettos, you can't rush, you can't stomp, you can't drag your feet. You must walk with intention, with posture, with presence. And here's this part that spoke to me, that spoke directly to my spirit, and hope it speaks to your heart also. When you complain in stilettos, you wobble. You wobble in your faith and invite your heart to entertain a light of trust in your Lord and Savior. When you focus on how hard it is, you lose your balance and you forget how big God is. I know, lovely listeners, you are saying right now, it is easier said than done, but keep listening. When you keep looking down at the ground, afraid of failing, you give room to the stumble because you remove your eyes on God. And if you're not careful, you take a misstep that wasn't even meant for you. Because when you are not careful, you do stumbles. So remember, complaining creates instability. Complaining may become a feeling that feels natural. If you are tuning into this channel, you do not want to adapt to the mundane. Instead, you want to rise above every situation. So, as such, allow me to help you picture what it looks like when you complain. When you complain, your shoulders drop, your confidence dip, your step lose rhythm. Complaining in life is the same way. It shifts your posture, it moves your focus from where you're going to what's uncomfortable right now. Before I continue, I want to reiterate I'm not saying bottle it in and never say anything, as that is not the Kaiser way. I'm not saying don't acknowledge that it's hard. What I'm saying is don't let the difficulty become your identity. There is a difference between acknowledging what is happening and embracing how it makes you feel. You can acknowledge emotion, and it can be expressed by saying, I am experiencing something hard, or I am becoming unstable because I keep narrating how hard it is. Grace on your stiletto doesn't deny this challenge. Grace on your stiletto chooses not to be ruled by it. So instead, when you are choosing to walk in your stilettos, you will start by trusting your ability. So here's the gentle truth and some gentle reminders. You don't put on your stilettos unless you trust your legs. You don't walk in heels unless you believe in your balance. You don't step out unless you've already decided, I can handle this. So why do we walk into our life like we don't trust our own ability? You have already survived harder season. You have already walked across shakier ground. You have already proven that you can keep your posture even when the surface isn't smooth. Trusting yourself doesn't mean you won't feel unsure. Trusting yourself on your stilettos means you keep walking anyway with grace and style. So here is your takeaway. When you feel yourself wobbling, check your focus. Are you focused on discomfort? Are you focused on your direction? Because the woman who keeps her stilettos on doesn't complain her way through the journey. She trusts her ability to walk in it with grace. Remember, you don't need to run. You don't need to prove. You don't need to force. Just walk one intentional step at a time with your head high, your heart soft, and your confidence rooted in you already knowing that you place your trust in God. So here's our takeaway for today. You don't wobble because you're weak. You wobble when you forget how capable you are and who is directing your step. So straighten your posture, beautiful listeners. Lift your chin up. And remember, no matter where you go, no matter where life takes you, remember to always keep your stilettos on. Thank you for listening.